Morning, guys. It's a very foggy day. It's just after 8 o'clock and it is so foggy. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so foggy. Wow. um, I guess that means it's a little cold out or something. I don't know. I would actually have to. I didn't look on the weather, so I'd have to actually step outside and see. But okay, so this morning I weighed and I was back up to 193.0, so that means that I gained an ounce and 3 ounces. Now I know you all probably thinking it was because I ate out. You all probably thinking it's because I ate at a peach rave. But no, that's not it. If you can tell, I'm a little swelled. If you can tell, I'm looking bloated. It's just a few more days to my menstrual cycle, and that means fluid retentions are happening, which is sad because I just finally started getting to pee again. This old body. I will love it when I stop menstruating. Serious. So yes, the 1 pound 3 ounce has nothing to do with what I ate, because the last time I ate was, I think it was about 2 o'clock yesterday, and I didn't eat any more for the rest of the day. So that's that. It's just because of the fluid retention, and I can even tell it in my stomach where I'm starting to bloat a little. That, yeah. And according to my Fitbit, because I clicked onto the women's cycle, and it shows I've got 4 days left. So yeah, that makes that about right. It's about time for the body to start showing signs it's preparing. Why do we have to retain fluids? What is the purpose of fluid retention for the month? What's the reason? Anyway, so aside from that, I'm just wanting to rehash for any new people who watches this for the first time just what I'm doing. Okay, all of my life I had a problem with being a foodie, loving food, overeating. Even as a young person, I enjoyed food a little bit too much. If it was food I liked, I ate a lot of it. You know, but surprisingly, just because I rode my bike a lot, I didn't get any higher than 142 and 143. When I met my first husband, that's how much I weighed. And then after we had our daughter, I had my birth control pill changed, and that's when the rate came on. In 1 month, I gained over 20 pounds after switching the birth control pill. And mind you, my daughter was about 3-4 months old. And by time that, because after she was born, I lost the baby weight. I'd gotten back down to about 135 after I gave birth to her. And sometime or another, about when she was about 4 or 5 months old, about 4 months old or so, I had my birth control pill changed. And by time that she was 6 months old, we had a family portrait done, and I was already over 160 pounds. And I just continued gaining. And so I walked, and I tried very hard to keep the weight off, but it kept going up. And the thing is, if I wanted something to eat, I mean, it didn't matter if I was hungry or not. If I wanted something to eat, I would tell my husband, and he would try to make sure I had that. And so he was my enabler, and he didn't help my eating habits at all. He was encouraging me to just indulge. And so over 20 years of fighting a growing obesity on my body, and like I would walk a lot, and I'd even done the Way Down plan, which is what I had started doing again in this journey that I'm on right now. And the key thing about it was completely giving my love of food over to God and replacing that with love for Him, putting my trust 100% into Him and letting Him have control. Well, the one thing that I wasn't doing was letting Him have control. I wasn't giving Him my eating. And so even though I would lose some weight, I would always end up gaining it back. So this year, once again, I attempted different methods by walking, and I was trying smaller portions, eating less processed foods, less high fast carbs. I had completely knocked out the junk food, like the candy. I'd completely knocked it out, and I had only lost a little bit of pound and then gained it back. And then we was in the process of moving. I lost focus and everything, and I really didn't have no success to begin with, and ended up gaining more, and I was slowly gaining back up. And just about 5 months ago, almost 5 months ago, I recorded me trying again, and I was at 220 pounds. And when I started doing this vlogging, this journal vlog, it had already been a month, and I started the journal vlog at 217 pounds. And I have dropped from just the same as 220 pounds, but with this series that I started almost 4 months ago, because this is day 116, so that leaves 4 days left for me to, when I get to measure myself, okay? But in reality, it started 5 months ago, but with the series, it started 4 months ago. And so I have gone from 220 down to 193, which, like I said yesterday, I was 191.7. And with the fluid retention starting because I'm getting ready to menstruate, that's the bummer. But all I am doing is I'm only eating when hungry, and I'm stopping when satisfied. I'm not overeating. I'm not indulging in between meals. I'm not binging. I have given it 100% over to God. I have given my love of food over to Him, and I've traded it to a love for Him. And He has completely removed all cravings. I have no cravings for food. And that is one thing that's wonderful, because used to, when I was ready to menstruate, I would have cravings galore. I would need this, I would need that, I would want, and I would eat, literally eat. And it's not that way now. It's not that way now. God has took care of that. So before, it wouldn't just be water retention. I would end up gaining, by now I would probably be up to 195 to maybe even 197 from me giving in to overeating and to tons of cravings and the water retention. But because of God and Him removing cravings, even for the menstruation, there's no cravings, none, which is such a miracle. I'm only gaining about 2 pounds of fluid retention every month for my cycle now, instead of 5 to 7 or so, because I'm not overeating. It's just the fluid retention. So me only gaining 1 pound and 3 ounces, let's hope that I don't gain no more than that. 1 pound and 3 ounces isn't bad for fluid retention, and who knows, even I might lose more before I actually start. And it still wouldn't be accurate because of the fluid retention, but it would still be a loss, you know what I mean? So, you know, but that's what I'm doing. To anybody who's new to watching this video, that was a short rehash of what I'm doing. And when I eat in the hunger zone only, not before, not in between, not after, I eat whatever my body is asking for. Right now, my body is greatly enjoying an old-fashioned bologna sandwich with mayo. And I am currently in the need of having loaded baked potatoes. It just so happened, because I was thinking about baked potatoes the other day, and it just so happened that my mother-in-law had purchased a bag of potatoes from Sam's Club, and they are big potatoes. So when I go to fix me a loaded baked potato, they're big enough that they can make one meal for me. Perfect satisfaction right there. And all I have is cheese and ranch. If I've got bacon bits, I add bacon bits. And that's it, you know. And it's not cravings, it's just what my body is asking for at the time. That's it. So, you know, there's a lot of potassium in potatoes, and I guess there's protein in the bologna sandwich. I don't know. It could be also that my body is asking for just a little bit of variety and taste, because here lately we've been eating a lot of spaghettis and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, my body is needing a little bit of a taste difference. Not to mention, I've never been keen on bologna sandwiches anyway, but a bologna sandwich with mayonnaise has been going down pretty decent. So anyway, I know a lot of yous think, okay, carbs, pastas, breads, bread basket, but no. For what I've been going through these 4 months, I know different. All right, and you know, it's just what's going on, though. And I had just watched a very inspirational video. A sister in Christ done a video showing her 10-month journey and her completely giving it over to God, completely. And with that, she started at over 330 some pounds. And she started out with her exercises, and she was choosing to eat what is called healthier food. She was choosing to eat like salads with salmon and stuff like that, because she showed some pictures of her food. And but the biggest thing of all was that she had given her weight loss over to God and was relying on Him for strength to do what she needed to do. And by 10 months, she was up to running on the treadmill for over 70 minutes, for over an hour running on the treadmill. And she had lost 100 pounds in 10 months. And she gives all the glory to Jesus Christ. Well, for me, the success that I'm having right now, all the glory goes to Him. I'm not bragging on myself, because it's not in my own power. It's not in my own strength. It's not my own might. God says in His Word, it's not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord. He also says that I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. And He says that I am more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ. So that tells me that through the Lord, through His Spirit, and through Jesus Christ, I've got this. And every day I look forward to being that much more down. I have gone from a size 16 pants to a size 14 in less than 4 months. It was around 3 weeks ago, I finally had to go get me another pair of pants because my 16s was getting too big on me. I was literally able to take them off without unbuttoning and zipping them. I could take them off like that. And there was a pair of capris that I couldn't wear from the start, and now I can wear them and they fit so nicely. They look so flattering. There was a pair of shorts I couldn't even get to here. And the last time I tried them on, I was able to button and zip them. So the progress that is happening in my body, the weight loss, the ability to wear smaller clothes, my self-esteem, no longer having cravings, no longer desiring to binge, being able to stop when satisfied and full. All of this belongs to Jesus Christ, every bit of it. It is all through Him. It is His plan, His way of eating. It is through Him. And He knows me. He knows that I really enjoy certain foods. And He knows that whenever I try to eat differently, whenever I would try to knock out not so much junk food, because now I don't even really eat junk food. I used to indulge on junk food. That's another thing that has stopped. I no longer indulge on junk food. On occasion, I might have a small bit of dessert that I eat within my meal. It's a part of my meal. The dessert is part of my meal. Whatever I'm eating, it is part of that meal. Other than that, I'm not into junk food. I don't desire junk food. I can go through the chips aisle and not pay them any mind. I can walk through the candy row, not pay any attention. I'll look and see what candies is available and if there's any neat new novelty candies, but I'm not wanting any. I don't have any desire for any. And on occasion, my body will kind of say, well, it'd be nice to have a little bit of candy. Okay, a little bit of candy. We're going to eat that when we're hungry. We're going to eat it with our meal. A little bit of candy, like a miniature chocolate bar or a little cookie, or, you know, but it's never a whole mess of it that I eat when I'm not hungry, or I only eat that when I'm hungry, you know. It's always within the meal. And after that, I'm completely satisfied. I'm balanced. My body has had everything that it needs. And there's a lot of controversy about eating like that, but the thing is, I'm losing weight. So, and just how much is the controversy real? How much is the controversy worth? When somebody is able to lose weight and still eat carbs and sweets, how much controversy is really worth it when somebody is proving that it is capable, that it is possible to lose weight eating whatever they want at the time that they're hungry? To me, the key to losing weight successfully is just hunger and fullness. And for me, by doing that, for me to keep that success, for me to keep that focus, I've got to keep my focus on God, because I've tried the hunger and fullness before, but I lost focus on God. I didn't 100% give it to Him. I was still relying on myself. But this time, I had to give it 100% over to Him, and He retrained me, He reprogrammed me, so that I would eat the way that He had originally created me to eat, and that was with hunger and fullness. Now, the really awesome thing about eating like this is, through hunger and fullness, you get to choose if you want to eat something or not. You get to choose if you allow certain foods or if you want to restrict certain foods. You get to choose that. Me, I choose to continue eating the foods that I really like. and I only eat them when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. And the other cool thing about it is my portions are smaller, so much smaller. My plates, when I would fix my plate, the portions were so big, almost big enough that, like, ooh, what my husband would eat. You know, I would eat a man-sized portion. And now my portions are so small, so small. And, you know, I can't get over it. I can't get over how the difference is with my eating now and then. I mean, it's crazy. Before, I was doing the right things. I was eating less processed foods, cutting junk out, and I was only losing a few pounds and gaining it back. I wasn't being successful, but yet I was doing it the way that, you know, I had been taught. I was doing it the way that it had always been told of how that a person can lose weight. I was incorporating more vegetables, trying to put more protein into my diet, but I gained it back. I ended up giving in to the cravings, ended up having them come back, because the one thing that didn't happen was, even though I had changed what I was eating, I hadn't lost the cravings. I hadn't lost them. So what really made the difference was when I gave everything over to God, everything. My eating desires, my eating habits, everything. I gave them to Him. And that's when the cravings stopped. And that's when I started losing the weight. And not only continuing to lose the weight, but continuing to literally keep it off. Now, in the 4 months that I've been doing this journey, I have only gained the weight back by a couple pounds 3 times. I've only gained the weight back by about 2 pounds 3 times, which actually 4 times. But the first time it happened, I was still more or less transitioning, I guess you could say. I was exercising, but it wasn't 100% to God. So I had successfully lost 5 pounds, but me and my husband went on a anniversary trip, and I gained 2 pounds of that 5 back. So that was the first time. And then the next time that I did was back before day 190. I had gone from 199 back up to 201, and then I steadied at 200 when day 90 came around, so that was 2. And then the third time was this last time before today. It was just last week. I ended up having some fluid retentions because I wasn't peeing right. And so I gained back 2 pounds. And I went from 194 to 196. So that was 3 times. And then today, the fluid retention is preparing for the menstrual. Only 4 times in these 4 months have I gained 2 pounds up. And when I would gain that, it would last a few days before I'd come back down. And that was the other thing about when I had gone from 199 back up to 201. Once again, I was getting ready to start my menstrual, and it was fluid retention, sadly. So, as it happens, I'm not overeating. I'm not eating anything that's causing me to gain weight. It's always been fluid retention, except for when we went on the anniversary trip. And I don't know how much of that was fluid retention and how much of that was eating, because I was trying to make sure not to eat everything on my plate. But anyway, so basically it has been a couple pound fluid retention. But this time, like I said, it's only 1 pound and 3 ounces, so still, that's not bad. Like I said, let's hope that I stick with the 1 pound and 3 ounces and don't gain any more fluid retention. Don't retain any more fluids. But I am pretty sure that within a week, maybe week and a half, somewhere around there, I'll be under 190 pounds. I'll be under 190 pounds. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. Now, because this video has ended up being this long, I'm not going to do the tone-ups today. So I just wanted to rehash what I'm doing for any newcomers, and I'm wanting to reassure all of you who may be watching this for the first time, or even those of you who has somewhat been keeping up. I'm just wanting to reassure you that I am still just eating within hunger and fullness. I'm not binging, I'm not overeating, I'm not overindulging. I don't have cravings. Everything is fine. And that's pretty well it. So I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.